the mathematics recap, the numerological, astrological, astronomical report. I ain't seen y'all since the third, cuz, so we got a lot of catching up to do. You ready? All right. So on the third, what day of the week was that? Let's talk about it. That was on the Thursday. That was the day of Jupiter, sacral chakra rule, expansion, abundance, joy, and all that stuff like that. That was a day of 439, which was a day of 7. We started on the day of 3, which is expression, creation, being of understanding. We're in the month of Chesed. This was the month of creating that foundation. We're in the space of Mayat. 4 is associated with Mayat. 4 is associated with nurturing energy of Cancer vibes of home and family. So everything that we do in the next 30, 31, what is it, 30 days is going into that energy of Chesed. We're creating the celestial blueprint this month, all right? And it's really cool. We create the celestial blueprint, and that's setting the tone for the Aries energy. We experienced the New Year's on April 17th, but let's get into it. So we're putting that 3 of expression, creation, and Bina energy into the 4 of chesed vibes. That brings us to 7. Balance, harmony, law, justice, truth, and righteousness. That's putting us in a space of I ain't even fix my background. What's gonna be my background? Um, hold on a second, y'all. Yeah, that's chesed energy, right? Then we take the chesed vibes. That 7 of law, justice, truth, and righteousness. Excuse me, I'm over here multitasking. Law, justice, truth, and righteousness. 7 deals with interpersonal relationships, bonds, and contracts. 7 is also associated with Netzach, which is the celestial designer. So now we're designing space. We come into our space of understanding. We came into our space of creating a blueprint with our level of understanding. And now we're in the space of, you know, designing with it, right? So then we're going to take that 7. Everything we do, we're going to put it into the 9. This is the year of Yesod. This is the year of giving birth, the number of born. 9 Yesod energy deals with Cancer vibes of, again, the sacral chakra of giving birth. 9 also deals with Sagittarius, which rules over the sacral chakra, which is the reproductive organ, still giving birth. 9 deals with expansion and abundance, joy. So that also puts us in alignment with being in the year of Jubilee, what I'm saying, with that 9. So this year is all about reproducing, giving birth, harvesting. You reap what you sow, so like you're going to reap it, because you notice whatever numbers we have, when we put it into the year of 9, we're going to get that right back. And let me show you. So we're going to put that 7 into the 9. We get back 1 and 6. So it gives it back to us in like bite-sized pieces. Like, I ain't going to give you the whole 7, babe, but I'll let you know what you got to do. Like, dang, I want law, justice, truth, and righteousness. And the universe is like, okay, well, you need to take action on your tipperary, your health, wellness, daily routine, your moral and integral code. Overall, Thursday was the day of 7. Friday, we was on the 449, right? So we can infer that we was double on the celestial blueprint energy. We was double on that Maya energy, standing 10 toes down on the holy day of Friday, that Venusian day, with, creating our internal laws of Maya. You know what I'm saying? What are your universal laws? What is your justice? What is your truth? What is your righteousness? You know what I'm saying? Um, so we had that heavy on a Friday. That was the day of 8 transformations, building and destroying happening, because we take those two fours, we add them together, and of course they make 8. We put it into the 9 because we want to give birth to the transformations. We want to give birth to 8. 8 is also associated with Sebek in a tree of life. This is when we come into the celestial technician. So before or after, it depends on if you started at the 10th sphere or the first one. It depends on what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? But you have Netzach, which is celestial designing things, and then you'll have Sebek or Had, which is this 8th sphere that'll go into labeling things and compartmentalizing what goes where, and what does what or whatever. As it's a little bit more intricate than the designing that Netzach brings us, right? That we had the day before on the day of 7. So now we're in the space of 8, and we're in the space of, like, compartmentalizing, organizing how it is Mercurian energy in the tree of life. 8 deals with being, building, and destroying transformations. Of course, we put it into the 9, like, yeah, I want this. And the 9 is like, okay, focus on the 1 and 7, right? Have knowledge on that celestial technician. That's seven that you dealt with on Jupiter on Thursday. Now I want you to act on it. I want you to have knowledge of it because one is knowledge and supreme mathematics. One is Aries Ogun energy. That's the gut that controls the mind. You know what I'm saying? Everything starts with a thought. Ogun energy is about being the initiator. That's the initiator. That's the cardinal wand. You know what I'm saying? That's the leader of taking action. Um, One also deals with Aries, same vibes, rules of first house. That's still the cardinal energy, the gut that controls the mind, right? So I want you to take action. I want you to have knowledge on that celestial technician, on that seven, on those interpersonal relationships, bonds, and contracts. That's how you're going to get to your eight. That's how you're going to build it and destroy on a day of eight on Friday. Then we had, so on Thursday, let me run back astrologically, astronomically happening on the day of seven on Thursday. We had the max north declination of the moon. The south pole of the moon was tipped into view. It was a Gemini Taurus moon. And then Mars entered the Cancer constellation on the Vedic chart. So now we have the happenings with our solar plexus chakra, getting the nurturing, new beginnings to the home and family happening in your events, making plans in that space of things. Then, thank you for liking the screen, Serena. I appreciate you. Then on the day of 4-4, where we had the Haywine, when we had the day of transformation, death, and rebirth, also dealing with power, willpower, occultism, secrets coming out. We love it here. Celestially happening. We had the moon in Tejas posterior, minimal angle. So the moon was actually over there. And nope, I was about to lie to you. Conjunction at 4:20 a.m. It was over there in the Gemini Cancer constellation. Conjunction at 4:20 a.m. The moon was 5.2 degrees north. The AM visibility of the moon began on the 4th. The evening visibility of Vesta begins. Vesta is the asteroid that rules over your passions. Hey, El Macho. It's located around the right foot area of the Virgo constellation. The first quarter moon was at 10:15 p.m. So when we're dealing with the first quarter moon, we had been spinning our space in the waxing crescent. So we were building up on the intangible things in our space. That's our mindset, our behaviors, our emotions, anything that's intangible. You know what I'm saying? And so now in the first quarter, we go back, we look about how we feel and how we think and all our behavior and our habits, our routine, our moral and integral code. We look back upon all the things that we built upon. This is all that was happening on the Venusian day of Friday. And that's cool too because that's also in divine alignment with us putting the 8 into the 9 and getting 1 and 7 back. This is a great time to get the knowledge of inwardness because 7 in numerology realm is spiritual knowledge going inward, going into that hermit mode and digging into the occultism of self. You know what I'm saying? So if you did the work from the waxing crescent to the waxing gibbous moon, now in these more spaces you'll see yourself more so building onto the tangible things, the physical things in your space, right? Because you done got all the non-physical stuff in order. Venus also entered draconic Pisces around 12:30 p.m. on Friday on that day of 8. Draconic energy deals with your spiritual self, the spiritual experience of the collective, as far as you know the chart. I'm not reading your personal chart, so you find out what planets you have in Pisces, and how that's being invoked by Venus entering draconic Pisces. But this is a spiritual invocation in that energy. Um, Venus deals with what you prioritize, what you value, that balance between the physical and the non-physical self, and it's in that space of Pisces, which deals with your belief system, your spiritual self, going inward, detachment, closings. Some things coming to a close in that space of business and emotional connections and stuff like that. Walking away from some things to walk into the new beginnings that Aries is going to bring us, right? If I change my name to something different, will you remember me? I will put it on my nickname so I cannot be called by others. You can check it out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, if you want to forewarn me what you're going to change it to, that would make it even easier. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, just be like, it's me. Why? But that's what Venus and Draconic Pisces bringing out the illusions and the different kind of manipulations that enhance the illusions in that space, your dreamy like self, you know, a lot of your spiritual experiences being invoked in your dreams, Uh, Daydreams is big in that space, so you guys paying more attention to how you sleep. Some of y'all have been sleepy as shit, and that's so you can have more spiritual experiences. Because now a lot of your spiritual experiences are more so happening on the other side, rather than in your waking life and your mind being present or whatever, and all that stuff like that. What does draconian Venus look like? Where is it? So it's Venus. It's just we have different kind of charts. You got the tropical chart, which is the zodiacs that we have following the ecliptic of the sun. Draconic chart is the zodiacs as well, but it follows the ecliptic of the moon. So it deals more so with your spiritual self because your moon is more like your internal side of your third eye. So following that flow with the moon, and nodes, it brings you more so into like a deeper form of self at your comfort. So it's like Venus is in the same spot, but it's like in relation to what? The zodiacs, the constellations, which is Vedic, that's happenings, or Draconic, which is that, you know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. I was just making sure I explained it right. Cool, cool. All right. So then we get into Saturn Day. You know, Saturn Day is ruled by Saturn. We're dealing with the root chakra. Happy Sabbath, woo woo wop, right? So that's the day of five. That's the day of the celestial enforcer, right? So now we're enforcing that four that we had the day before because four was chesed. That was the law. Five is the celestial enforcer. This is spherical Hootie energy. Now we're going into Aries and Ogun. You should be enforcing the things you did on the four, that you came to a sense of understanding on the day of three, that you was in a space of wisdom on the day of two, that you got the knowledge or the download from on the day of one. You know what I'm saying? So now we're in the space of five, right? We're enforcing stuff. It's looking great. We love it here. Five also deals with Leo energy, which deals with your confidence and your courageousness, because Leo rules over the fifth house. It's just, and some of y'all be real dramatic with it. I gave you guys a whole lecture last time I was here with y'all about the sense of control. You are not here to control anything or anybody outside of self. All the true control is from within. If you can control yourself, if you are in control of your own reality, what you gotta say, what you do, how you respond, your reality will be so much better. But when you start putting yourself in the space of, I can control this experience, I can control that person if I tell that person how shit makes me feel, I can control this person if I tell them I don't like that, I could tell this whatever, if I throw hands at this person, if I you can't, it's not going to control nothing. It's just gonna make shit harder for you, and now you irritated and your energy is drained, and now you got this weird karma in your vortex. It's a whole thing. Don't do it. We don't like it here. um I am like 10. I stay up just the last year. I mean stuff. Thank you. I appreciate you. Track art customs. Peace. In Indiana State, that's what's up. Facts. Feel the emotions. Don't think about it. Exactly. Exactly. Emotions come like wavelengths. Let the waves flow through you. Be like water. Do what you gotta do. The only thing you can control is yourself. If somebody's doing something in your vortex that you don't like, it's because you have a set of rules, the chesed, the four, your maya, your internal law, justice, truth, and righteousness, and this person is in your vortex and they're not abiding by the rules. Now, what are you going to do about it? And the only person you can control is yourself because that person has their own set of rules. And if you want your personal set of rules to be respected and accepted, then you have to accept and respect that this person must have their own set of rules too, their own way of doing things. Now, you can communicate, hey, you know, these are my rules. This is my chesed. This is, I'm going to give you grace. I'm going to give you mercy or whatever. But this is my internal my. This is how I feel, when the scales are not balanced or when they are balanced, whatever, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And you let that person respond how they want to respond. But at the end of the day, the only cards you can pull are on yourself. You can choose to stay in that energy exchange and be irritated, or you can choose to remove yourself, or you could feel like you were being heard and you could trust that this pattern won't repeat itself because you communicated yourself, in a way that you weren't trying to control that person with your emotions or what you think or whatever, whatever. Whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Hey, nobody. What's up with you, love? Um, that's how you go about doing that. And that's like the healthiest way. And whenever I'm doing like mediation between people, especially when I'm doing synastry chart readings, and it just so happens to be the person and their partner in the space, that's what I try to like, encourage. Like, it's not about you make me and you do this, you do that. It's talk about yourself. Be self-centered. It's about your solar plexus chakra. It's about your chesed, right? Anyway, all that's in alignment with 5. How are you enforcing this shit? So 5 goes into the month of 9 because this is the month of Chesed. This is the month where you're going to deal with your Mayat, your law, justice, truth, and righteousness, your boundaries. You're going to deal with your internal law. You're going to deal with your Olu Kun, your deep waters. You're going to deal with your spiritual self. You're going to deal with home and family because Cancer energy rules over the 4. You're going to deal with what you require to feel nurtured and how you nurture others. All of that stuff is coming into play under these numbers, right? So you're going to put that celestial enforcer into this month of 4 and this month of Chesed, right? And it comes into 9. So now we have this energy of 9, giving birth. You're going to give birth between putting that solar plexus chakra of 5 in order with that sacral chakra of 4 ruled by like Pisces, Neptune energy. And you're going to give birth with the combination of those two. And so we're going to take that 9 because, of course, we want to give birth to our ability to give birth. You know what I'm saying? We put some really dope energy into that. And we're going to put that into the year of 9, the year of Yesod, and things that's going to bring us to the 1 and 8. So then we get 9 again. So Saturn Day was a heavy day for harvesting. Saturn Day was a heavy day for um, manifesting and bringing things into fruition. Um, and so hopefully you guys were speaking things that you want into. What was I doing on Saturday? Oh, I was chilling. I was tired on Saturday. And you wanna know why I was tired on Saturday? Because astrologically, astronomically speaking, Mercury was stationary and began its prograde motion. And anybody who know anything about me, y'all know I'm heavy on the Mercury. My Sun, Moon, Mercury, and Venus are all Virgo. My Mercury is Gemini. Mercury. My Mars is Gemini. So like Mercury rules over here, baby. And then when you get into my progressive chart, I'm a Virgo rising, but natally speaking, I'm a Leo. So when Mercury doing shit, I'm doing shit. So yeah, I definitely was. I was in bed and I was chilling. It was cold. It was rainy outside. I did cook. I did get up and cook, and that was fun. I started feeling good. I only started feeling good today. I was still a little. I started feeling good yesterday. Yesterday I felt good. The sun was out a little bit more than usual. Okay, cool. We love it here. Um, but then today it was very rainy, but I was okay. I was regular. I'm just trying to make sure that that whole overworking, overdoing, overscheduling doesn't come back into my vortex because I low key like when Mercury is in retrograde for me because it slows me down because I'm always that's why y'all be like, how she get so much done? Da, 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 da. Anxiety, okay? I don't feel good sitting still. Do you guys know how fast Mercury moves? Okay, Mercury is an air planet and it's close as shit to the sun, and it's doing a lot of stuff. It's always on the move. It's very fast. It's a very fast planet, and so to be ruled by such a planet, I'm always on the move. I'm always moving to the next thing, and sometimes it's a lot on my physical body because my sun is in Virgo, so my earthly self is in Pisces, which is a lot slower, believe it or not. So I be feeling it, feel it. So wherever your sun sign is at, your earth sign is always in the opposition. If that makes sense to you, that's how that works. So right now the sun is over there in Pisces Aries energy. That means that earth right now is in Virgo Libra energy. That's why you're starting to see like the winter triangle starting to rise up in the sky too in a certain type of level. A little hexagon situation and stuff. Right? But yeah, so that was a day of 9. We got 3 9s on Saturn Day. It was a great day for manifestation. Everybody was having a great time. We loved it there, right? The moon was over there in the Gemini constellation. The moon and Castor and Pollux were in minimal angle in conjunction on that day. The east side of the moon came tipped into view, and the moon and Mars, because Mars is over there and Gemini constellation as well, even though it's in the Cancer zodiac. So the solar plexus chakra of the collective is in that space of community communication, being motivated and triggered in that retrospect, right? The moon was over there giving introspection and nurturing to that solar plexus chakra sitting over there in Cancer energy. And then, like I said, we have Mercury stationary on Saturn Day as well. Can I get a shout out? Of course you can, Kurt. What's up with you? Okay, so then we have Sunday. Sunday was the day of 6. So now we're in this Teperef. Now we're working on our health, wellness, daily routine, our moral and integral code. Six deals with why did it escape my mind? Where'd you go? Six deals with Tippereth. I said that already. That's probably why. And also Tippereth, which is Leo energy, your confidence and courageousness. When you look at the tree of life, you got the Tippereth, that's the Sephiroth in the middle, and you'll notice that all the other Sephiroths are connected to it because this is the heart. Same thing as it is in your body. Your heart is connected to everything, and it's fun here. You finally got to see Orion's belt. Really? For me, that's like the easiest one to see. And if you see Orion's belt and you look down, you can see the little nebula cluster that's his sword. And then if you look to the side, you can see Betelgeuse, which is usually like the orange star that's really bright. If you look down further, you can start to see serpents or whatever. You start to see the little animals that's around Orion. And it's a fun time. And it kind of go off from there. I'm a Leo. Really? I like Leos. I'm surrounded by Leos. I'm a Leo rising. Do you believe in God? Yes, I do. I believe in God. Absolutely do. God is like the best canvasser artist ever. Make like hands down. Um, but yeah, so on day six, that's what we're dealing with. So we're gonna take that six of health, wellness, daily routine, that temperament, that confidence and courageousness, that space of, equality and supreme mathematics is a six, and we're gonna put that into the month of four. We're gonna create a blueprint with it, right? Because who doesn't want to create a blueprint? So on Sunday, you might have felt yourself, being pulled or invoked to start working on that health, wellness, daily routine, creating a blueprint for how you want to spend your time, maybe making some plans for the summertime, making some plans for, later on in the spring when it gets nicer out, trips or whatever, what have you. Something coming to mind, like this is what I want to do, just there's something out there into the vortex, putting that together. And that brought us to 10, which is Jeb, bringing it to the earthly realm. Of course, as above, so is below. So 10 always brings us back to 1, the Ketters, the knowledge, the intellect, taking action, the gut that controls the mind, and everything starts with the thought. We're going to take that 1 and put it to the year of 9, because of course we want to give birth to that knowledge. You know what I'm saying? We made that knowledge with our with our heart and with our law, justice, truth, and righteousness. Yeah. So overall, Sunday was a day of 1, which was nice, right? Like for starting the first day of the week, focusing on your scheduling and managing yourself on a day of 1, taking initiative, taking action, getting in that knowledge of it, right? Can you get me from Miami? I'm gonna be down there in a couple of weeks, but I'm being Tampa. That's kind of like Florida is so big compared to where I'm from. I go from one side of the state to the other, only taking me about 3 hours. He made people like you, and that's what makes him great. Oh, thank you, Leo. I appreciate that. Um, on the day of six, we have the moon sitting in Cancer constellation. So the moon in Persepi was in conjunction, minimal angle, around noonish, like 12:30ish. If you will. Persepi is a star in the Cancer constellation. That's like around like the the eye, the third eye area of the Cancer constellation. So heavy on the prophecies, heavy on the spiritual introspection and all that. I'm everybody's friend, princess. Um, so then we get into the day of 7. Now 7 was like a really quiet day in the cosmos. I think the cosmos was like, I think y'all had enough. Y'all needed a little breaky break. Y'all done had Neptune going to Aries zodiac. Then you got Mercury going prograde. Now y'all getting ready for the shadow of Venus going prograde. Y'all preparing yourself for Pluto going in retrograde. Like I'm gonna give y'all a break on Monday. So if you guys finally felt stable, cool, calm, and collected on a Monday, probably why we started that day when the day is 7. Law, justice, truth, and righteousness, interpersonal relationships, bonds, and contracts was on a copacetic. But if you're not in balance, if your sevens are all over the place, if you're not in tune with yourself spiritually and allowing yourself to have a spiritual experience on earth, and not allowing your earthly experience to be spiritual, then I don't know what to tell you. Your Monday was probably crazy. But mine was great. I really enjoyed my Monday. It was actually a very nice balance of work and life and motherhood, and I even had a little bit of time to myself. Did I do everything I probably would have wanted to do with myself time? Probably not. But I had a good Monday. I really shouts to everybody that contributed to my Monday. It was a great one. But yeah, like I said, wasn't really nothing happening celestially on Monday. We are in the waxing gibbous moon. I actually started the day at a 70%, which is really cool. The sun is at 17 degrees Aries in the Aries zodiac, but still in 23 degrees Pisces in the Vedic. So we still have that balance between fire in our mindset and water in our actual happenings and energy exchanges. What's your favorite singer? That's the question. Uh, Geez, I have so many. But when I read that question, the first answer that popped in my mind was Whitney Houston. So we're gonna go with that. But I have many if I think hard enough. But that was the first one, so we're gonna go with that because I do love her. The moon is over there in Leo, and it's fun there. So having some introspection on your confidence and your courageousness and all that fun stuff. Now let's get into the eighth. Yay! Ready for the today's today, tomorrow, the next 20-minute mathematics. Starting the day off. Oh, shit. I didn't even finish the 479. 479 brought us into a space of 11 because we got that balance. Of course, we wanted to create a divine blueprint with that balance. Now, if you imbalanced and you whatever, feel sorry for you because you created a divine blueprint with that too. And so you put it into a set of 4 that brought you to 11, which is that space of mastery. So now it's time to master, you know, your stability on those scales. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be stable in being imbalanced, or you're going to be stable in being balanced. It's up to you. So then we took that 11 of mastery and we put it into the 9, because of course, who doesn't want to give birth to mastery, right? And that brought us to 20. um, I usually don't reduce my 11s, but if you want to reduce your 11 to a 2, then you put the 2 into the 9 and you can make the day a day of mastery. The day was either a day of 11 or a day of 2. It's up to you and how you wanted to add it up. You know what I'm saying? We do get a, opportunity to have wisdom in our space, chokma, which is, that expanded, abundant Jupiter energy, being joyful. 2 also deals with Taurus energy, which you value and what you prioritize should came to the forefront of your mind. It was a day of 7, which was Netzach, the celestial technician, which was also Venusian energy. So paying attention to the balance of your emotions and your emotional connections and nurturing and stuff like that should have been a big one on Monday. You know what I'm saying? Which is cool because that's the day ruled by the moon. That's Cancer energy. It's about nurturing and emotions, right? So what better day to work on your emotional stuff and how that affects your interpersonal relationships, even within facets of self, right? Then we get into the day of 8, right? 8 deals with power, occultism, truths coming out, transformations, building and destroying. We love it here on a day. Who doesn't like a good 8? Um, you know, 8 deals with Sebek, like I told you guys a few days ago on the mathematics. This is the celestial technicians. Hey Daniel, this is the celestial technicians. This is labeling and compartmentalizing things in our space. You know, um, 8 in supreme mathematics deals with building and destroying, but 8 in the numerology realm deals with like business management, business organization, staying grounded in that, right? Um, so we take that 8 and we put it into the month of 4 because, of course, we want to build a divine blueprint, you know what I'm saying, on transformations, on the power. If you guys want to have an occult, you know what I'm saying? Different things like that. You're an NFL player. That's what's up. I had an uncle that was an NFL player. Um, he played for the Bears and the Steelers. It was really dope. His name is Florenzo Freeman. He was like one of those players. What was that Will Smith movie when concussion or whatever? He was one of those players that had got like money because of like the helmet. Like he was an older football player. He was back when, and he ended up passing away. Uh, he passed away in his sleep, and it was in alignment with the results of that. And it was very interesting when he did pass because literally everybody was thinking about him. And then in the next morning we found out that he passed. And I'm like, oh my God. And everybody sitting around was like, yo, we were literally just talking about him. That's so great. Like, and he was that kind of person too, where he probably intentionally made sure he visited everybody before he went out. Really dope soul. But peace to you as an NFL player. I don't know how, why, or whatever I went into that tangent. My apologies. But peace to you. I hope you love what you do. I used to love playing football when I was younger, especially in the snow. When I had the resilience for it. I do not so much now. But let's get back into this 8, standing on business. You hear me? We're gonna create a divine blueprint with standing on business, coming into some spaces with business ideas. Hey Patrick, hey David. Um, creating a divine blueprint with some of the transformations and the power that you have in your space is a big thing there too. And of course, that brings us to knowledge and wisdom, which brings us to a sense of understanding. Hey, peace to the King Adonis. So we're coming into a knowledge, wisdom, and understanding when we start to create our divine blueprint on this 8. All right. The 8, like I said, deals with the celestial technician too, compartmentalizing things in our space. So now we have this 3 of understanding, right? Um, and we sat here. Y'all got the agenda book, like I told y'all to. Y'all got yourself another notebook that you don't need, but you do need because you're about to use it right now to plan things out. and and you're writing this stuff down and you're getting it all together and you're going to take a breath and you're going to stand under it. This is when you create the oath. This is when you create the connectivity, um, the discipline and the order, because 3 is Bina energy. That's Saturn. That's the that's the discipline and order you need to be of authority of self. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to behave. This is what I'm going to implement in my space to get this 8 going how I want to go, to get this blueprint popping how I want it to pop, right? So you're going to take that 3 of Bina, expression, creation. 3 deals with the Gemini house of community and communication. 3 deals with, and the numerology realm. 3 deals with emotions. It's a very emotional energy. And, yeah, I said 3 was Gemini, right? That's the Gemini house. That's the Mercurian John. Um, and then the Supreme Mathematics 3 is understanding. Okay, I went through all of them, right? And we're going to put that into the year of 9. Because, of course, we want to give birth to our sense of understanding. We want to give birth to our emotions and our creativity that we got from organizing and standing on business, right? And we're like, hey, what do I got to do to give birth to this joy? And the universe is like, I got you. You got to go back to the knowledge and wisdom. So you might have to edit some things over. You might get some stuff in order. And then some of y'all love ChatGPT. You might go to ChatGPT and they tell you, okay, edit it. It's like proofreading, to come back to the knowledge and wisdom, proofread it. Go outside, meditate on what you organized, and you might come up with new expanding ideas, some type of reimagining. Or you might get on the phone with somebody and talking to them, whether intentionally or unintentionally. They're giving you insight on what you just wrote down or what you were trying to organize, and giving you new ideas and a different way to go about it, or whatever, what have you, whatever. So keeping, being in that space. Well, overall, on this day of 8, we are on the path of 3, and we love it here, right? Stand on business today. Today is a great day for my people born on the day of 8. That's 8, 17, and 26, and we love it here. Today is a great day for my 3, 6, 9 life pathers. You know what I'm saying? The space of creation, emotionals, getting in tune with that. My 147s, my 147s and my 8s, even though we start on the day of 8. My life pathers, you guys might have, some opportunities to attach yourself to some emotions, get in tune with your ability to create based upon how you feel. Thank you for the subscription. And no, I live on the East Coast for now, but I appreciate your subscription, love. Um, but yeah, I be wanting to respond to y'all comments, but then sometimes it pulls me out of my train of thought. But yeah, uh, but that's all on the day of 3. Now, astrologically, astronomically happening, we start the day off at a 79% waxing gibbous moon. We're in that moon of building. We're building on the tangible things in our space, the physical stuff. Moon rising at 3:29 p.m. and setting at 4:44 a.m. Tropically, Leo and Draconic. We are in Leo energy, so we are all up in our confidence and courageous and creative self. We're all in our heart chakra, all up in our feelings on this day at 3. You hear me? The sunrise at 6:31 a.m. and setting at 7:31 p.m. tropically and draconically. So our mind and our spirit are in alignment in Aries. And our mind, we are at an 18 degree. 1 and 8 deals with the solar plexus chakra. So on top of the fact that Aries is the solar plexus chakra energy, so we're heavy on that space of enforcement in our mindset, implementing things, taking action. You might feel a little impatience on yourself to get some things moving or feel really motivated to get some things started today. You know what I'm saying? Nurture that energy because all of this is happening in the fourth house, also coming into that space of not just nurturing, but introspection, insight, your third eye, your feminine energy, home and family has been on the forefront all year. Sense of belonging, which was what the fourth house rules over. Where do I belong? Where should I be? That is the question of all year, especially being in nine. Nine is your side and it's ruled by Cancer energy. And that's what Cancer energy really wants to answer for you guys is where do you belong? Where do you feel the most comfortable? Where can you take the mask off and let your hair down and be in your authenticity and be accepted and celebrated? You know what I'm saying? That's what this year is all about. The sun is giving us those experiences in that fourth house. I believe that the sun will be in the fourth house throughout the year, regardless of what zodiac is, and it'll probably go into the fifth house, like more so towards the equinox time or late summer or whatever. And then we'll come into that fifth house of confidence and courageousness and all that stuff like that. But mostly in the fourth house, you know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, like New York and stuff. I had a friend that died because of cancer. Respect, peace to your peoples. I definitely had a couple family members that passed away due to cancer too, and I got my whole monologue on the science of cancer and all those things, but I won't get into that right now. Let's talk about some stars. But peace to your friend. uh, the body, the actual happenings, the sun is in Pisces at a 24 degree. So finding balance and harmony, also dealing with your chokma, your wisdom on that four, on that chesed energy, which brings us to six. You're going to applicate it to your health and your wellness, your tippereth, finding that balance on that four. And this is all happening in the Pisces energy, which is, you know, um, closings, coming to some sense of closure here, you know what I'm saying, in that home and family, in that sense of belonging, coming to some sense of hidden dreams, hidden agendas, getting into the senses beyond the five, you know what I'm saying? Hey Greg, how you doing? Thank you. I appreciate that. So coming into some sensory of that is very heavy, very important here. Yes, 6-9. Amen for all your family members. Peace to you. Same to you. I really appreciate that, love. The moon and Regulus are in conjunction at 8:26 a.m. This happens. The moon will be 1.3 degrees north, minimal angle at 9:03 a.m. The moon will be 1.2 degrees north northeast, and we'll be able to observe that at 4:13 a.m. with a 3.4 degree northwest separation. Regulus is the star of riches, the little prince, in the Leo constellation. Like I told y'all, the moon is in Leo on the tropical, the Vedic draconic chart, and this is all happening in the eighth house of transformations, building and destroying, and power. Okay. So say it with your chest. Make those transformations. Stand on business today. Uh, get some shit going. Eros enters Pisces zodiac at 1 p.m. today. Eros is the asteroid that deals with love. What would you do to stay in love, to be in love? What do you accept in that space of love? And it's all in that dreamy Pisces energy. Imagine that shit. This is a beautiful time to really start to grasp um your daydreaming, your daydream self. Because when you're in daydreaming, this is when you can control your subconscious, like intentionally, and make what you want to happen in that dream world. And the physical comes therefore because when you're in that space of dream and intentions and imagination, you're sending a code to your body that this is what we want. This is what will make us happy. And your body is responding to that. Have you ever noticed, like, um when you're dreaming? I, I had a few. You know what? I'm just gonna say my examples. Fuck it. Like when you having like imagining something sexually, right? And your body automatically responds. Your heart is racing. You feel yourself getting aroused. All these different things. Like you're putting that code in your body. Like this is what I like. This is what I want. This is what I desire. So now your body has it in. Your body has this code, and now your body about to go look for that shit. Like, oh wait a minute. I want what I was imagining. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna go for it. Same shit with like food. You know what I'm saying? Your mind, you're imagining yourself. I'm about to eat this, da da da. You're putting this code in your body, and now your body's like, oh, we about to go get what we need to go eat that. You know what I'm saying? Um, what makes you happy? What makes you sad? What makes you worry? What makes you angry? You're imagining it, and you're feeding your body this code. It's the same way as like if your body is mostly water, before you break it down and realize that we're not really here at all. We're just having a great time. Hopefully you guys are, because we're not really here anyway. Like well, when you get to a certain level of science, it's like everything is water, right? We're water, we're condensed water. And so the experiment with water. You're speaking life into water, it changes the molecules. You know what I'm saying? The molecules start to move a certain way. The water is flowing a certain way. Now the water does certain things when it's, whatever. Like, that's the same mindset with praying over your food before you eat it. I'm speaking my intentions. I'm speaking on what I want this food to do to my body when it gets in my body before it gets in my body. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking life into that. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing when you're speaking bad into yourself. When you say stuff, you can feel it in your chest. You can feel it in your neck, in your back. Because you keep repeating, like, I'm getting old, or I'm getting this, or this is wrong, or that's wrong. You feel it, you start to tense up. You know what I'm saying? So be mindful of how you speak to yourself. Be mindful of the codes that you're putting into your physical self, because this is your vehicle. You know what I'm saying? This ain't you. This your vehicle. So treat it right. You know what I'm saying? This is what you got. Um, and let the moon and Regulus help you. If you want to get some riches, do your thing. I don't even know how the fuck we got there. We got there off of Aries entering Pisces. Oh yeah, because Pisces is about the dreamy energy. Yeah, do that shit. Imagine that shit. We love it here. um, what's your favorite rapper? Like the big rappers? I am my favorite rapper. Hands down, I'm my favorite rapper. Every time I listen to a song from me, I be like gassing myself. And I don't even need gas for real. Like, I'm really fucking dope. And I've been rapping since I was in like elementary school. At this point in the game, I'm fucking ridiculous. I love it here. Did you know the stars are the most powerful thing in the sky? I believe so. But I also have this very strong belief in black holes and comets and quasars. In fact, I was reading an article about how there's some comets out there. There's this theory that Earth actually got its water from comets doing some type of chemtrail type of situation or deal or whatever. And I found that quite interesting. Because comets, they go across the whole galaxy, and they carry all the celestial dust and minerals and stuff like that since the beginning of the formation of galaxy, whenever that was. Because time is not linear, and no energy is created or destroyed, so only God knows what that time looks like. And they're just going across the sky, dropping little droplets, and they have this like very dense version of hydrogen, and you blend it with oxygen, and it creates a even more dense version of H2O than what we have. But given the mindset of how it might have blended with other things, it kind of diluted that level of hydrogen. Blah, blah, blah. Very interesting article. I had a great time. Okay. Did you hear about the comet that might hit Earth in 7 years? No, I didn't hear about that. It's always a comet or a meteor that might hit Earth. And I really like the power of Jupiter. If you know about Jupiter, Jupiter is literally perfectly placed in our solar system in a way that it has been protecting us like continuously, and other planets too, from being knocked out of orbit from other meteors. Whenever we go through certain, whenever we go through our orbit, there's certain areas where there's like condensed meteorites, and we get our meteor showers because of this area that we're traveling through. Like right now, it's springtime, it's the month of April, so we're about to pass a bunch of meteors. We're about to have some heavy meteor showers that we're about to pass through. And then in the wintertime, like around December, January, uh, we go through another really dense period of heavy meteors. And Jupiter just be out there just keeping everything on this thread. It's like a really dope like pinball situation that Jupiter does with its energy. And I find that fascinating. And it's just like the way gravity or whatever they want to call it moves. Uh, and then getting into the fact that all the majority of the celestial bodies, I think it's just Venus and Mercury. I think Venus and Mercury are the only two celestial bodies that don't have satellites, that don't have like, little bodies moving around them, which I don't understand why. I don't think that's true because you know how long it took for us to even realize that Saturn had rings, and now Saturn's rings are about to disappear. So, like, say, God forbid, like a whole bunch of information about that we have now about outer space disappears. For the next some years, people aren't going to think that Saturn has rings. You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows how long that pattern has been happening? We keep going in retrograde with Saturn, realizing it had rings, forgetting, then realizing again. Only God knows how many times that happened. Um, because once upon a time we weren't writing, information down to the level that we do now. And who's to say all these things won't get wiped out of the ones and zeros when Uranus enters Gemini? I'm not speaking into existence, but I got some theories about when Uranus enters Gemini. Anyway, um, yeah, I don't know how I got there. Oh yeah, from the most powerful thing in the sky. And I said, like, I think it's like quasars and black holes, but stars are pretty cool too. I know the sun compared to all the other stars are kind of like, our sun is kind of like small potatoes. Did you know that your body has this cold atmosphere, controls our body and the way we perform and the way we act? I didn't know that. That's pretty interesting. But you know what? That makes a lot of sense because when you get into as above, so below, the outer layer of all these planets and comets and all that stuff is all cold. Like everything has an ice box. You know what I'm saying? Where everything is enclosed in an ice box, even Earth. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, Jupiter blocks meteors. Jupiter does a lot of shit. We don't be giving Jupiter enough credit. We just be over there like, every now and then we gotta be like, hey yo, thanks Jay, you're a real one. Oh yeah, and then the comet that might hit Earth in 7 years. Yeah, it might. It might not. Who knows? We'll find out when we get there. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, it'll wipe out my student loans. So that's what I have for the numerological, astrological, astronomical report. Um, Now this part in the game, I usually get all heavy into the horoscopes of it all. You guys, so I'll do it a little bit because I haven't seen you guys in a few days, and I see some new people in here. We are in the. Did you watch the Super Bowl? No, I stopped watching football years ago. I used to watch it, then I still wasn't interesting after a while. Earth has technology to send missiles after meteors if it's coming. Believed. Believed. I think Earth always had a natural ability to do that as well with the different um, energy pools and gravity and repelling people off its pathway with the how fast everything is moving in different directions. You've got rotations on its axis and the revolutions at the same time are happening so fast. And then Earth has its own satellites. So, and on top of the fact that the Earth has the moon, and the moon even has its own satellites. So, it's so much happening just between the Earth and the moon and the satellites around us. There's like, what is that? One, two, and then a bunch of little orbits happening at the same time. But it's kind of hard for something to get in there. It's kind of like you're trying to play double dutch. You're trying to jump in double dutch, and so they're playing with like 6 ropes that are flopping at the same time. Like, when the fuck you gonna jump in that shit? Good luck. Um, that's how I see it. Anyway. All right. So I said that the moon was in it was at a 0 degree Leo. So let me find the Leo nakshatra. That's Virgo. Okay, here we go. We're in the Uttada Falguni Nakshatra. This is the 12th nakshatra in Vedic astrology. It's ruled by the sun and associated with the deity Adiman, the god of compassion, patronage, and supportive relationships. Mind you, I'm talking about the moon here right now. Um, Leo is the fire sign associated with dynamism and personal recognition. The Virgo portion of the Uttada Falguni brings in qualities of practicality, service, and attention to detail. Pop about the dirt project. Wait a minute. Oh, wait. I lied. Wrong nakshatra, y'all. Rewind. I'm looking for 0 degrees, Leo. So every nakshatra is 13 degrees. So you got 0 to 13, then you got 13 to 26, and then you got the 26 will take you into the next zodiac or whatever. The Maga nakshatra is the 10th nakshatra in Vedic astrology. It goes from 0 degrees Leo, so we just entered here, and we're here till 13 degrees Leo. Like I said, it is the nakshatra of royalty, dignity, ancestral legacy, and leadership. Maga is a powerful and awe-inspiring nakshatra that involves the themes of honor, prestige, and legacy. Personal power, ancestral heritage, and desire for recognition are keys here. The moon's transit through this nakshatra can bring themes of leadership, courage, and the desire to be recognized or honored for one's contributions. As Leo is a fiery and creative sign, Maga emphasizes an individual's role in greater legacy and historical narrative. The symbol is the royal throne, which brings kingship, authority, and ancestral power. The deity is Pitris, the ancestors or spirits of the forefathers, because you know Leo energy deals with the father. If you're a Leo rising like me, you are here to finish the job of your father and your patrilineal. And that's so crazy because that's the side of the family I'd be like, I love y'all, but I kind of want to. The shadow side of Maga can manifest as arrogance, egoism, or a tendency to become overly fixated on the recognition and status. So be mindful of that today, especially on this day of 8, right? Being excessively concerned with power and dominance. Because remember, I told y'all the only thing y'all can control is yourself. So be careful. When the moon transits here, individuals may feel an increased desire for recognition, respect, and acknowledgement. This can be a time when people seek to be honored for their efforts or accomplishments. So that's that there. We're still in the month of Faminoth on the ancient Kemetic calendar. Um, actually, no, we passed. We are past. We're in the month of pecans. Pecans. Pakhons. And this is from late March to late April, so we're here for the till the late of the month. And the ruling deity of this month is Ra, the sun god, and the final period of the growing season before harvest begins, marking a time of abundance. So next month is going to be we're going to exit the energy of Peret, because in the ancient Kemetic calendar you get 3 seasons a year, um, 4 months each season, 30 days each month, and then the month is divided into 10-day weeks, which we call decans. So right now we're in the pecans. Um, we are in the month of Nisan in the Hebrew calendar. It marks the arrival of spring and symbolizes renewal and freedom. It's the month of Passover, which is the exodus of the Israelites from Egypt, and it's fun here. Yay! And then, in the Hebrew calendar, we are entering Tuesday, which is the third day, which is called Yom Shlishi. And on the third day, God gathered the waters and caused dry land to appear, which is Genesis 1 9 to 13. And it is also a day when vegetation began to grow. It's a day associated with growth and nourishment. This day is considered a day of blessing because this is the only day in creation where the two blessings are mentioned, which is Genesis 1 12 to 13. It symbolizes abundance, growth, and the fertility of earth. So the keys for Yom Shlishi or Tuesday is growth, abundance, and nourishment. In the Hindu calendar, this is Mangalvar, which is Lord Anuman and Lord Mars. That's when we get into the monkey god. Of course, Mars rules over Tuesday. The monkey god is a symbol of strength and devotion and courage. Um, it's associated with physical and mental resilience. Mars, a planet of energy, action, and aggression, aligns with Lord Anuman's qualities. When we get into the Hindu horoscope energy, tropically speaking, we are still in the energy of Mina, which is Pisces, ruled by Jupiter, being compassionate, intuitive, artistic, and dreamy. Oh, Vedically speaking, right? I said it right time. Did I? Pisceans are deeply empathetic, creative, and often drawn to spirituality or artistic pursuits. They are sensitive and understanding of others' feelings. Um, Lord Vishnu is the ruling deity of this energy, which is also known as Matsya, which is the fish incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Vishnu's Matsya incarnation is directly linked to Pisces, symbolizing spiritual guidance, compassion, and adaptability. Pisces is considered a sign of deep spiritual connection and intuition, qualities that are embodied in Vishnu's incarnation. Now, tropically, we are in Mesha, which is Aries, which is ruled by Mars. Being energetic, courageous, adventurous, and impulsive. Born under Mesha are natural leaders and take initiative. The ruling element is fire, of course. The god of war is Mongol. Mars is the powerful and energetic deity associated with courage, aggression, and assertiveness, which aligns with Aries' bold and pioneering nature. And we love it here. What else? Mm, well, that's it there. And we know that Mars is ruled by Tuesday, which rules over the solar plexus chakra. We are. Where is my. As far as horoscope goes, oh man, I haven't been here in a while. I gotta get my life together. Native American speaking, we are in the energy of the Falcon till April 19th. Strength, great observers, overwhelmingly energetic, brave, and perseverance. Alder in the Druid or the Celtic horoscope, we're here to the 14th. The Trailblazer being romantic, brave, and generous, a natural born leader. We're in the year of the wood snake on the Chinese horoscope. It's a period of transformation, creativity, wisdom, unpredictability, flexibility, and diplomacy. We're in the year of gold. This is the year of Jubilee, y'all. Passionate, interesting, and faithful people, ambition, and willpower and keys. And that is in the alchemy year of Nine. We align, what do you call it? Elements to the numbers. And then I'm about to sneeze. I'm gonna try not to though. Oh my gosh, I don't feel like pouring that shit out if it's not here. But I must because I haven't seen you guys. All of my notebooks. Okay. So love every day is the West African horoscope. We're here till May 4th. Always know what to do and how to do it. Wisdom to be right, and they know which way the wind blows. Witty and helpful, reliable, good advisor. Must learn how to say no during this time, especially in the month of 4, creating your chesed. As far as the Kemetic Decan goes, we're in the Decan of Thoth. We're here till April 19th. This is the god of learning and wisdom, wise, energetic, inventive, practical, and wise leader, motivator, and inspirer, hard worker. My grandpa's grandpa was in World War One. Really? Really? I'm about to get more into my history buffness, especially because I homeschool my child. And right now we're in the unit of, I found these maps of North and South, North, Central, and South America, but they have like the Native American boundaries to them. So that's where we're at now, learning about the Native American boundaries, but then we're going to move on to getting into when the colonists come, you know what I'm saying? And then we'll get into, you know, the colonies are here and how the state, you know, how the Mexicans, the takeovers of the states happen and stuff. So I'm going to expand more on my history in detail. I know the gist of things, but I kind of forget a lot of details. And I think, and I'm excited about that because history is very interesting. My son, though, he's not, I won't say he's not a fan. I just, I really enjoy his cynicism about human behavior. It's very refreshing to hear somebody so young just simplify shit so well. But He's not a big fan of history because it's all war and nobody's getting along, nobody's making logical decisions, and I love to hear about it. And so I can't wait to hear what he thinks about the fact that America has been at war since it's been created. No energy is created or destroyed. They gotta go somewhere, right? So now we can get into, oh yeah, we're on the day of the solar plexus chakra, so let's talk about it a little bit. Mars is ruled over, Tuesday is ruled by Mars. This is Ogun energy. Solar plexus chakra is the Manipura, which is the city of jewels. It's located in the upper abdomen or in the middle of your back. This is your power center of willpower, power, self-expression, self-esteem, courage, confidence, energy. Visualization is the globe or fire, the C note. For my musicians, it's the vowel sound. Ram and Huring are the hakals. 528 hertz is the frequency. Yellow 590 to 560 nm is the color wavelength. The internal side of the solar plexus chakra is ruled by Aries. This is the fire in the gut that controls the mind. Scorpio is the external side to the solar plexus chakra. This is where the building and destroying comes as a result of the fire in the gut. Both of them are represented by the fifth Sephiroth in the Tree of Life, or in the Netherus, which is Harokahuti, or Jabora, which is severity. This is the enforcer, or the celestial government that comes after 4, Chesed, the actual divine blueprint. So that's for that there. And now, let's get into the planetary hours. So Mars hours is right now. We're in hour of Mars from 12 a.m. to 1 a.m., 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., and 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Mars deals with the solar plexus chakra, your confidence and courageousness. Confidence and courageous, your assertiveness, your ability to take lead, action. We know Mars is over there in Cancer, being nurtured. It's in Gemini in the constellation, so it's towards being motivated and triggered by your community, and how you guys communicate with one another. So be mindful, give each other grace. Sun hours are from 1 a.m. to 2 a.m., 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., and then 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. The sun rules over your vitality, your energy, your experiences, and your expression. We know that the sun is over there in our mindset, giving us the mental connection to our experiences as Aries, new beginnings, being motivated, being ambitious, being assertive, taking action. Actual events or happenings, our body interaction with the sun, the vitality energy is sitting over there in Pisces energy, so it's still in a dreamy like state. So for some of you guys who find yourself daydreaming, going inwards, still being in hermit mode to an extent, if you're some of you guys still experiencing some signs of wintertime in your vortex, that's all in alignment with the Vedic energy of the sun. Venus energy is from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m., 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., and then 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., and then 11 p.m. to midnight. Venus deals with your creative self. Those of you guys that like make beautiful things, whether that's, jewelry, fashion, painting, sculptures, your romantic pursuits, what you value, what you prioritize, balancing that space of business with those facets of love. All of that can be done during the Venusian hour. Right now, Venus is in its last moments, being in, Jesus, I exited out of the wrong tab. But it's in retrograde right now. And Pisces energy on the tropical and on the Vedic chart. So it's in that space of being dreamy and sensitive and all that stuff, but moving slow in those spaces and repeating some degrees there so that you can really get some introspection and get a new sixth sense off of that balance between the physical and the non-physical world. Realize that you're having a physical spiritual experience and have fun. Mercury's hours are from 3 a.m. to 4 a.m., 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., and then midnight. Of course, we start the Wednesday at a 12. Mercury rules over community, communication, traveling, if you like to travel light, learning something, speaking on something, all that stuff can happen during the Mercurian hour. Also, if you guys are into trading and stuff, Mercurian hour is a good time to do that too. Scheduling, organization of self, because we deal with that Virgo energy of helpful on this daily routine. That's all during the Mercurian hour. Oh, my bad, TikTok. I dropped y'all. second, y'all. And we have Mercury, like I told you guys earlier, finally went prograde. It is still sitting in that Pisces energy on the tropical and Vedic chart. So, um, once again, tapping into that sixth sense, your sense of sensitivity, empathy, applicating some of that spiritual intellect, that sixth sense energy into your health, wellness, daily routine, meditating, aligning with spirit, listening to your intuition, uh, creating those laws of Maya and implementing them, getting into what people's hidden agendas, things beneath the horizon, having spiritual experiences, experiencing deja vu, seeing beyond the rose colored glasses that Pisces can give us sometimes. All of that now that we get to repeat these degrees in Pisces for the third time moving forward. Um, what else? Moon's hours are from 4 a.m. to 5 a.m., 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. We are in the hours of the moon, and the moon deals with introspection, home and family, your nurturing self, your space at your comfortable zone, dealing with your third eye energy. We know Mercury, the moon is over there in Leo, being confident and courageous with your introspection, trusting your intuition, imagining, and still in that space of imagining those riches and that glory that you want in your space. We talked about the nakshatra that the moon is in. You already know what's what. Be mindful of, wanting, I won't say a little too much, but like you said, be mindful of overextending your level of importance. You know, Saturn's hours are from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m., 12 p.m. to 1 p.m., and 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturn deals with the challenges. Saturn hours are good for long-term planning, kind of focusing on the challenges that are there to strengthen you, that are influencing you to know how to do different things to um, be the resistance to your challenges. You know what I'm saying? An example I always give myself: you want to travel, you want to tour in a tour bus. Main challenge: what if I get a flat? Well, you gotta learn who can you call when you get a flat. Do you know how to change a flat? Do you keep a spare tire? How much do tires cost? Like, these are different questions you ask after you're dealt with that Saturn issue. You know what I'm saying? And Jupiter more so helps you expand with those answers when you do the research. Now you're coming into Jupiter's expansion and wisdom and generosity and optimism. You know what I'm saying? Um, but coming back into Saturn, Saturn deals with your level of understanding. You get into some root chakra work during the hours of Saturn. Saturn is also sitting over there in Pisces, providing challenges to things hidden beneath the horizon. The spiritual realm is going through a sense of transformation and empowerment and quote unquote traumas and challenges and stuff, just like we're going through in the physical realm. Because you got to remember, as within, so is without, right? As above, so is below. It's all intertwined. We're all interconnected. It's the same shit as saying, you can look into my eyes if you are an expert at that, and you can see all of my ailments that are inside of my body. All the fingers on my hands is connected to the organs in my body, also connected to the planets in the sky. And if you look at the soles of my feet, if you rub certain parts a certain kind of way, you'll affect certain parts of my body, because we're like our own upside down. You know, your whole throat chakra looks like your reproductive organs. You know what I'm saying? You have that upside down about yourself, inside out about yourself, just like the plane that we live on. You know what I'm saying? We're in and out of each other. It's so weird. But we've learned how to compartmentalize it so well with that eighth sphere that we forgot to go back into the seventh sphere and go back up to that choke mind, realize how we the inside out, upside down of ourselves, all that fun stuff. But anyway, I don't know how I got there. Saturn's hours, focusing on your long-term planning, your survival of self, and all that stuff is fun there. Then Jupiter, like I said, brings you the expansion, the wisdom, the joy, the generosity. Also deals with long-term planning and space of wisdom, but coming towards that space of answers to some things. Jupiter's hours are from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., and 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And those are the planetary hours. And I'm about to give y'all collective reading and see y'all out so I can go lay my ass down. We love it here. Okay. So the theme of today's reading is higher consciousness. Oh, I love Gotu Cola. Gotu Cola is the herb. I like that. I like to drink it in my tea. You can also roll it up in your blunt if you are a smoker, or your tobacco, whatever it is that you do. But Gotu Cola is good for your mindset, space clearing. You want to focus on your Mercury and your Mercury's connection with the moon. So right now on the collective chart, Mercury is in Pisces and the moon is in Leo. So one is in water and one is in fire. So Pisces, Aries, um, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo. So it's about, what's that, like 150 degrees away. So it's definitely at an obtuse angle. um, hey Claire, hey Jabriel. Um, right now. And then you have one in fire. You have your introspection in fire, which is that confidence and courageousness. And then you have Mercury sitting over there in Pisces, which is more introspection, emotions, and sensitive. Well, Leo energy can be sensitive too, because that deals with the heart of Tippereth and stuff. It's just more like fire taking action. Finding the connection between those and then getting into, hey goddess, and then getting into what your personal moon and Mercury placements and how those align with yours is definitely, that's what we're going to focus on. That's what's going to help us get into our higher consciousness. Oh, look at that, especially around the time that Mercury goes prograde. Thank you for the gifts, goddess. Um, Forward judgment card. Some of you guys have been judging yourself, some of you guys judging others. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this comes from the Mercurian card. Be mindful. That can also come from the moon card because Cancer energy can be a little judgmental too. But be mindful of that. We're coming into this space of Knight of Swords. So some of you guys are acting on that judgment in a little hasty way, being a little jerky jerk about that. This is not higher conscious energy, y'all. And if some of you guys are being greeted with some of this energy from other people, I wouldn't deal too much into this. You stick to your shit. You align your Mercury and your moon, have more introspection on how to manage and organize yourself. Like I told y'all earlier, the best form of control is control over yourself. Organize yourself. Today's a day of 8. Today's a day of standing on business. We're flowing into the day of 3 with it, right? Which is understanding, creating a discipline, order, and boundaries that we need, right? You're not going to get that from overly judging yourself and being mean to yourself. You're definitely not going to get that comparing yourself to others with this kind of energy either. So stay on this level while you're organizing and scheduling. Don't come from a hurt place. Don't come from a mean place. I'm being mean to myself. I'm being angry about the situation, this, that, and the third. Come from this place of zen when you are organizing yourself and coming to that, that 8 energy on that 3. What parts of self to focus on? Glad you asked. We're focusing on our 6 of Wands. So that space of equality on our taking action. This is Jupiter in Leo, expansion, abundance, generosity, in our Tippereth, in our heart, how we feel. Be optimistic, be in joy, be at this level and not at this I'm judging myself. Oh my god, I gotta go on a diet because I ate like this and I feel fat and I blah 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 blah. Like nah. We're coming from this place. We're coming from this place. We're not coming from this place when we talk like that. Be like, I want to eat healthy. I want to feel good. I want to feel this. I want to feel that. I want to blah 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 blah. That's where we want to come from. We want to have the moon and Mercury together. We want to nurture. We want to feel good about it. We want to, yeah, that's the place we want to come from when we're organizing and making plans and standing on business, okay? Be nice to yourself. We love it here. It's a great time. We're here to have fun, have experiences. We're here to fuck shit up. We're not really here. How about that? People keep saying, oh, don't take life seriously because you're going to die anyway. Actually, you don't die. Energy is not created or destroyed. You're not even really here. How about that? How about if you really break your body down, you're not fucking here. So what are you stressed for? You're stressed for shit that's not really here because you're not really here? No, that's not what we're doing. Impartiality. You see how she's balanced in the third eye. This is the third eye card. We're being balanced here. We're balancing our spiritual self. We're balanced. Yes, paint. That's what she's balancing. Paint. Wanna why? Because she's the creator. She's the artist. She's the architect. Use your third eye, your spiritual self, your nurturing self, that moon energy, to be the architect. I told you guys about this earlier. When you're imagining things, it's a good time to get into your dreamy self, especially with all the planets we talked about. Still straddling between Pisces and Aries energy. New beginnings to the dreamlike energy. Daydreaming is a part of dreaming. Daydreaming is a time where you control your subconscious self. Daydreaming is the one space where you're literally deliberately controlling your dream state and you are programming your body. You're programming your algorithm. And if you as within, so is without. So you think you're just programming inside? No, you're programming outside too at the same time. We love it here. We're not really fucking here. Have fun while you are. You're like a code in this computer. And if you use the code, do the code. Yeah, people gonna look at you crazy. You know what I'm saying? But are you looking at yourself like you're crazy? Because if you are, you're not properly programming the code. Your body doesn't believe you. The energy around you is not believing you because you're not believing you. You know what I'm saying? But she looked like she believing. Got these heavy ass cans of paint. She's holding them out of balance. They both about to get equally used. We're all up in our third eye chakra. Celestial energy. She got a nice little aura about her that looks like it's like a little veil and shit. Real ethereal, celestial light. We love it here. You know what I'm saying? And it's called impartiality. Okay? We're balanced here. We know that we're having a physical experience, but that's what it is. It's an experience. Is experience a tangible thing? No. Experience is not tangible. It's not physical. It's an experience. It's an energy exchange. Everything here is energy exchange. Everything here is a representation of energy. That means it's not really here. Hurtful gossip. And that's what I was talking about. Because some of y'all is this. And y'all coming at people that's trying to move like this. Or maybe because you walk around and treat yourself like this, then you're attracting people like this. And so this is happening. Hurtful gossip is happening. But I'm here to tell you, if you treat yourself better and you move like this, and you tapped into that Jupiter and Leo energy, and you got this expansion and abundance and optimism in your heart and your Tepereth, your confidence and courageous self, people doing all of this, they'll get bored. Wanna know why? Because you're not giving them a reaction. You're not giving them the experience. You're not giving them the energy exchange. They get bored. I'm bored now. And the person's not crying. They're not arguing back with me. They're not giving me the energy I'm looking for. Let me go somewhere else where I'm going to get that. They're not even letting me help them feel bad. Don't let the hurtful gossip hurt you. Because when people are gossiping, they're coming from their own perspective. They're coming from their own projection. That shit ain't got nothing to do with you. That's everything to do with them, their reality, how they think about themselves, what they would do if they were in your shoes because of what they would do in their own shoes. It literally has nothing to do with you. It says more about when somebody takes the time to gossip, the language that they use, the tone that they use, the word choice, all of that shit has way more to do with them and who they are as a person than it has to do with you and whatever they claim they're telling about you. It really does in so many different ways. And if you start to think about it and look at it that kind of way, you'll realize how silly it is. Like, bro, why are you talking about me doing XYZ? Why do you care? What's in your mind, in your heart, in your internal law that you care about me doing XYZ? Oh, because you're like this? Because you move like that? Because you got this going on? Oh, so it says more about you than it does about me. That's crazy. And then go on about your business. That's it's really that fucking simple. Okay? So more of this. Align your Mercury and your Moon together with the transit Mercury and Moon. Less of this shit so you can stop attracting this shit in your space. Cause fuck these people. And more of this shit. And you're gonna do that with your Jupiter and Leo. Be expanded, abundant, and optimistic in your heart, okay? Because you are setting the code to your algorithm to get the shit that you want. Today's a day of 8. Stand on business. Today is a life path of 3. Express, communicate, and be in tune with your emotions so you can get out of this shit and be more in this shit, okay? that's what I got for you today, my beautiful. Oh, and that's cool because you know what? It's a day at 3. We start day at 3. On a day at 8. Um, day at 8. Light path of 3. The moon. Mercury rules over 8. We wasn't going on. I don't know. Anyway, 8 is the deck. But yeah, that's what I got for you today, my cosmic nobodies. I appreciate y'all tapping in. Y'all know I always enjoy y'all space and time. Hope you guys enjoyed sharing it with me and mine. I will see you guys Tuesday night to talk about Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna have a good time again then. I'm trying to put back reading Sefer Yetzirah in my vortex because I really enjoyed reading that with y'all, and I was getting some really good insight and downloads. We're gonna get back to that because I'm really determined to read a bunch of books and just like really expand my intellect in this year. And that would be nice to do it with y'all. Probably do that tomorrow. I don't know. I keep saying that tomorrow. So I'll probably stop saying that, and I'll just pop out when I pop out. But peace to y'all. Thank y'all for tapping in. I keep dropping TikTok.